Okay. Good evening, Dr. Adam. It's a pleasure to have you here in the session. Georgina, thank you for arranging this introductory webinar. Actually, the purpose of this introductory webinar is to launch some programs in Jordan. So we need this session even to keep it in the in our either website or in other social media to keep it as a reference for anyone interested in these programs to attend and to see to view the videos and know what Dr. Adam clarify about it. So I will not take much more time. Dr. Adam is a co-founder and CEO of Trinify from Canada, and it's really a pleasure and honor to start our collaboration in Jordan. As well, Dr. Georgina is the CEO and founder of CHE from United Arab Emirates, and we are proud that also Jordanian. So
yes,
yeah, and it's a pleasure of ours also, Dr. Georgina. So I guess
thank you so much.
It's a collaboration between three parties, and we hope that it will be a long-term partnership between all of us. Dr. Adam, the floor is yours. Unless Dr. Georgina, I guess if you want to have a few words also, you are welcome.
I just want to say thank you so much for arranging this webinar and for this opportunity. Adam and myself, we've been working for a few months now, and I see a lot of potential, and we both agree that AI is not going anywhere. I mean, we need to always take a step forward to be in par with other countries and get the generations ready. And even us as professionals also ready with the AI. Even I took one of the courses that Trainify offer, and it was amazing. So thank you so much, Adam, for being here with us. And thank you so much, Dr. Khaled, for this opportunity.
Thank you, Dr. Georgina. Dr. Adam, the floor is yours.
Thank you so much, both of you. Thank you, Georgina. Thank you, Dr. Khaled. I really appreciate, firstly, this opportunity. So thank you for arranging this. It's been a pleasure having our initial conversations. As Georgina mentioned, we've been working together with 3 to 4 months. We're looking forward to these partnerships and collaboration opportunities. So I will just start off with a very, very high-level introduction. I will just go through a little bit of an introduction on generative AI and its impact it's having today. And then I will jump into some of our, well, 2 of our AI training courses for educators and for young professionals, and just give a little bit more insights into what we're doing as an AI edtech company. So as mentioned, my name is Adam Balwant. I was originally from the Caribbean, born and raised in an island called Trinidad and Tobago. I've lived in Toronto, Canada for the past 14 years of my life, where I attended University of Toronto for my bachelor's in business administration. I also did my master's in management information systems at the London School of Economics in London, UK. And since then, I've had about a little over, well, now it's about 6 years experience, a little over 6 years experience in education sector, teaching at the university and college level, and also a little over 9 years now experience in entrepreneurship, Trainify being my second educational technology startup today, which we have been operating for a little over 1 year and approximately 3 months. So most of you here today obviously will have some exposure to artificial intelligence. Most of you use it in different capacities, depending on what task you're trying to accomplish. So most of us today have that early stage exposure. I would like to argue that most of us today are also what we call early adopters, because generative AI is a fairly new technology led by the rise of chatbots like ChatGPT. Artificial intelligence is not a new technology. It's been around since most of us were born. But again, the evolvement of the technology has been remarkable to see, and that's why we're here today. So what exactly is generative AI? Just like a quick recap. So generative AI basically describes all the algorithms, whether you talk about ChatGPT, Perplexity AI, Microsoft Copilot, any one of these, that can be used to create several types of content. We see people creating audio, software engineering code, images, text, videos even, where you can record yourself and have an avatar deliver material for you. So the recent breakthroughs in the past couple of years have led to a big change in the way we deliver in the higher education sector, but it also has an impact across all industries around you. We're feeling the impact everywhere around the world, and the challenge now is, how are we going to respond? So just to give a little perspective as to why everyone's talking about generative AI today, this is just a little bit of a data, I should say, on the impact ChatGPT has had on the world around you. So ChatGPT reached 100 million users 2 months after launch, making it the fastest growing internet app ever. So just to give you some perspective, that same 1 million users to start off took Netflix 3.5 years, Twitter 2 years, Facebook 10 months, Instagram 2.5 months. 1 million users took ChatGPT only 5 days. So it's obviously a fast growing technology. And now there's lots of other players in the field other than just ChatGPT. And you know, we're getting that benefit of having these multiple options today. So some of the use cases we're seeing from the technology, as I mentioned, writing books, even including research, academic research, literature reviews, software code, solving financial and mathematical problems. This is a big one, generating data. So the ability to use AI to analyze large data sets is actually a big industry today, and it's helping lots of companies save time and money. Translating text. For business entrepreneurs, writing business plans and modifying these business plans. Writing essays for in the academia industry, you can also use it, as I'll mention later, to grade essays as well. Writing resumes and cover letters, a benefit for some of our students, as I will mention later in our AI for Young Professionals course. Job interview preparation, and oftentimes writing recommendation letters. Now, this is just touching the surface. There are many other use cases of AI. And the use cases are going to evolve as AI evolves as well. What we had in ChatGPT 1 year ago is a lot different than what we had today. What we have today versus what we have 1 year from now is going to be a lot different as well, because we're starting to see that the technology is adapting and evolving at a very quick rate. So many people in higher education, this was the big question about a year ago. Should we embrace AI for our students or be concerned that it's going to rob them of their creativity, critical thinking, and motivation? Now, as an AI edtech company, we've worked with several clients across the world, across Canada, across the US, across Dubai, Australia, UK, and we've noticed that many different universities and companies are, well, especially in the higher education sector, having this same question being addressed, but now they are more accepted. They have more accepted the technology than they did in the past, like high acceptance rates of the use of AI, because in the early stages, they were a bit scared, a bit fearful, but now they understand that they need to integrate this. Otherwise, their students are going to fall behind, their faculty are going to fall behind, and then we're going to create a new digital divide. Okay, so I'm going to go into now our detailed courses that we have. So let me just change my presentation 1 second. Okay. There we go. So at Trainify, we have several AI training programs, accelerator programs, AI courses, all mean the same thing. Our main program that we have had for the past year and some has been called our AI for Educators. This has been our flagship program. It's been the program that we have had the most success with, excuse me, and our long-standing program that we've worked with over 35 academic institutions across the world today. Now, the reason that we created this program, just to give you some background insights, I first started off as a consultant doing AI seminars and workshops to different universities and traveling to different countries across the world to do this. But I decided I wanted to build something a little bit more scalable, something that people can take these courses virtually, or we can deliver it via Zoom or Teams, or we can even deliver it in person, but I wanted to add more detail. And that's why we built Trainify and these courses. So today we have approximately 43% of college students have used AI tools like ChatGPT. This number is going to keep increasing. I imagine we're going to see that reach 70 to 75% very, very quickly. 1 in 5 college students are using AI to complete their schoolwork. And now we're actually starting it from high school. We're starting to see in the high school secondary education industry, students are also using AI to complete their coursework. And the growth of the global AI market is forecast to be 118 billion by next year. And again, this is going to only continue to increase as it has more and more exposure across all of these different industries. So some of the challenges within the higher education space when we talk about AI is firstly the concern surrounding data privacy, meaning who owns anything that you upload into an AI chatbot. The second concern is equity and accessibility. Some students have access to stronger AI tools than other students, and how are we going to sort of level or balance the playing field? Teacher and student adaptation. Now, we assume many of us here today know how to use technology and AI, but this does not apply to everyone, right? So there's a learning curve for lots of these teachers and also students. But what we started to notice is that students were learning AI at a faster rate than the teachers. Now, I'm not saying it's a bad thing, but it could lead to some situations where it presents problems in the classroom. We also have to be mindful of the ethical concerns around the usage of AI in the classroom, not only from a student standpoint addressing plagiarism, but also from a teacher standpoint. And lastly, what are the best practices to integrate AI into your classroom? These are some of the challenges that we addressed. In any business, including an AI training program, you must always identify the problem first before you build a solution, which is why we went out there, did some research, and found these challenges before we started to address them. In order to address them, we built our AI program for educators, which is designed not only for teaching and research faculty, but also for any staff working in an academic institution. Whether you're a dean, whether you're part of the curriculum design, whether you're just working in general administration, this course can be applicable to you as well. So our courses are typically 6 modules, which ranges, including assessments and self-paced work, around approximately 12 to 16 hours on average. However, I will mention that we have customized our course for many different stakeholders. It doesn't mean that every course has to be the same length. Many universities or companies have certain aspects or certain areas of AI that they want to focus on, certain AI tools that they want to focus on, and we're able to build and customize according to your preferences. But I'm going to go through our foundation, which is firstly, Module 1 is an introduction to artificial intelligence in education. Here we talk about the history of AI, how we got to generative AI today, the impact of AI in education, the power of AI in education, and the benefits of AI to educators and also to students. From Module 2, we get a lot more hands-on and engaging. The purpose of our program, even if it's delivered asynchronously, is to keep it as hands-on, interactive, and engaging as possible, because you cannot learn AI by just sitting down and watching a video of theory. You can learn AI by actually engaging and practicing using the activities and challenges that we design in our programs. So Module 2 is AI for classroom learning and engagement, which is essentially informing educators how you can use AI to improve the engagement in the classroom, make it more interesting, make it more interactive. Thirdly, we look at AI, how you can use AI to build assessments, how you can use AI to grade assessments, and how you can use AI to provide constructive feedback for your students. So when we think about building and grading and delivering feedback for assessments, oftentimes this can be a very lengthy task. But now with the use of AI, we can actually build assessments very quickly, whether it be multiple choice, projects, case studies, essay questions. We get lots of ideas from AI. But it's very important to note that many of this still has to be combined with your human touch, your human element when using it. Another aspect in Module 3 that we also add in there is the ability of how to use AI to create a lecture presentation. Now, being an educator myself, back a couple of years ago, before I started using generative AI, I would take quite some time to create my lecture presentations to deliver in my classroom. Now it can take me maybe 10, 15 minutes to create a 45, 50 slide presentation because of the usage of AI to help me build that presentation. Module 4, we look at the ethical usage of AI in education, as I mentioned, addressing the popular topic of how to mitigate the impact of plagiarism in the classroom. Then in Module 5, we look at what we call building a student contract. So responsible use of AI with students, which essentially involves how do you integrate AI into your course syllabi, into the policies of the academic institution, so that students are aware of their limitations and restrictions. Oftentimes, I've seen some universities and colleges penalize their students and say, well, you get 0 because you use ChatGPT in your answer. But then you look at their course syllabus and there's no policy surrounding the usage of AI. So until you have those policies built into your curriculum, then it's very difficult to argue with the students and tell them they cannot use it if it's not stated in your course curriculum. And then in Module 6, we look at AI for academic research. So how you can use AI tools like Perplexity AI to build literature reviews, to compare different types of research articles, and just to help you save time when you're conducting your overall academic research. So in our course, we are AI tool agnostic. We do not focus on a particular tool. We showcase all of the tools that we know are very good based on our research, and we deliver those tools to you, and you have the option to decide which you use. However, as I mentioned, if, for example, your university or company has licensed Microsoft Copilot, and that's the only tool you want to focus on, we have built courses for like Microsoft Copilot only, for ChatGPT only, depending on your institutional preferences. Now, we have different price points, and this is B2C, business to consumer pricing, but we also have B2B pricing, which tends to be our popular model when we work with universities. We have like $199 USD for our 16-hour asynchronous course, $149, which is now reduced to $99 for our 8 hours asynchronous course. And we have $499, which is for asynchronous live sessions, which are taught by a combination of instructors on our team. That can actually be delivered either on Zoom or Teams, or be delivered in person, because our partnerships that we build here today will allow us to deliver in-person training in the very near future, starting in January. And we can deliver this. In-person courses are obviously typically more interactive and engaging because we get to engage with the audience while they use and interact with the AI tools. So that's our first program, the AI for Educators program. The second program I wanted to touch upon would be our AI for Young Professionals, which is essentially designed for students that are currently enrolled in a university, or recent graduates that are graduated as a recent alumni of an academic institution, or anyone in the early career talent. I usually like to say like they're in their first 5, 6, 7 years outside of their education, and they're still exploring their career options, maybe looking to change jobs and see what's out there. So the purpose of this program is obviously going to be quite different than the AI for Educators program. So in this program, we look at how you can use AI to improve your career outlook as a young professional, including better job prospects and a better career plan for yourself. We look at a very, very interesting yet popular topic, how you can use AI to build your resumes and cover letters. Now, this is an important task. I just taught this to my students this week because oftentimes students have this belief that they can use one resume and use that to apply for every single job that's out there. But as most of you in this room know today, when you submit a resume for a job, it's a computerized software that's scanning your resume and looking to see if you have certain keywords that they're looking for based on the job description. It thus indicates that it's very important that we tailor and customize our resumes when applying to jobs. And as a young professional, this is very important. And you can now use the help of AI to help you do this if you understand how to create the right prompt to do that. Then also improving their productivity and performance as well, especially as they begin their journey to go out there into the corporate environment. We also talk about an efficient usage of AI in a classroom environment for the student and addressed how they have to use AI in an ethical manner. So in this course, we have 6 modules again, but as I mentioned, they can be customized according to different preferences. Module 1 is the basics of AI, where we also talk a little bit about the connection between AI and machine learning and the importance of data analytics, and of course, the history of AI that led us to where we are today. Module 2 is around the fundamentals around the usage of AI, along with the ethical usage of AI in the classroom and also in the workplace, and being mindful of what that means. Module 3 is probably one of the biggest modules in the sense that we focus on prompt engineering, which is one of the key skills that any young professional needs to know today as they go off into the working world. In the jobs boards like Indeed and LinkedIn, etc., in 2024 and even in 2023, we started to see a rise in job descriptions that required candidates to have some form of experience using prompt engineering. And that's why they understand now that this skill is extremely important as they go out into the working world. And thus, we spent quite a bit of time focusing on that in this course. Module 4 is how you can evaluate and improve your generative AI performance, of course, again, with the right prompt engineering skills. Module 5 is using AI to solve real-life problems that happen in your day-to-day, like in your corporate environment, sending emails, using Microsoft Word, creating presentation, using Copilot with Excel spreadsheets, to name a few. And Module 6, we look at AI productivity hacks, where, again, we look at how you can use AI for building resumes and cover letters, interview preparation. For example, I was telling my students this week, let's say you have an interview coming up like 2 weeks from today, and you want to prepare for that interview. I did this for a couple of my clients already, where you can go into any AI tool, for example, ChatGPT, and you can say, in the prompt, you can write in, I have an interview for this marketing assistant role. Here is the company's website, and here is the job description for that role, along with my resume attached. Can you provide me a sample of 15 to 20 questions that can help me prepare for this interview? For a couple of people that I did this to, for some friends as well, oftentimes at least 40 to 50% of the questions that I give them do come up in the interview. And, it's obviously a very helpful tool for these little tasks that can benefit these young professionals that they're not aware of yet. And that's why we often have to build awareness first to these young professionals about what they can do using AI, and then educate them at a deeper level of what AI can do for them. So in this program, we have essentially one version now. It's $99, and it's approximately 12 to 16 hours delivered for asynchronous content. We are trying to make a push to deliver this across different areas in the Middle East in January, as I mentioned, as well as a synchronous version for students. Obviously, the price is subject to change depending on the market, but we want to see how we can engage with students and young professionals as well, again, because they have these options to do in person, and obviously they value that in-person options. So some of the other programs that we have, I'm not going to go into detail, I'm just going to mention them, and then I'm going to share one more thing. We have AI for business professionals, which is designed for employees, executives, entrepreneurs, so workforce talent, C-suite level, VP, directors, and any entrepreneurs, businessmen and businesswomen. We also have AI for what we call K-12 teachers, which is basically the equivalent of secondary school or high school teachers. We have AI for K-12 students. And we also have an AI bootcamp for students and alumni, which is something that we recently launched, which is a much more hands-on interactive session, a 4 to 5 week session, training students that involves a hackathon at the end. And these are some of the current courses that we have under development. AI for onboarding new employees coming into your organization. Introduction to machine learning, because we're seeing a large demand for this. The third course is where we're probably seeing the biggest demand, integrating AI into data analytics, which is obviously a huge topic going into 2025. And lastly, an entire course focusing on generative AI to build and grow your business. Now, one final thing I want to mention, we have partnered with several organizations across the world where many of our courses are certified by a couple universities in the United States and a couple colleges in Canada as well. So completion of our programs will typically lead to a certification from one of these American universities or one of these Canadian universities as well. And we are continuing to build these partnerships as we grow. We're actually right now in talks with a large university in the United States to add them to our partnership list. So the more we grow our partners, the more our courses get recognized, the better it becomes for anyone who take the programs, because they have a stronger certification that they're now certified as an AI for educator or certified as AI for young professional. As we build these partnerships as well, we're also building courses alongside these institutions. For example, we just partnered with a Canadian college to build 4 different AI courses for them, which will be delivered to anyone across the world. These courses are AI industry specific. So AI in finance, AI in human resources, AI in public healthcare, AI in sales and marketing, and these will be delivered starting January as well. So we are trying to continuously build our essentially course offerings, course catalog. But more importantly, I believe it's important to build our reputation by adding in these strategic partners to deliver these certifications alongside us, so as people feel more comfortable when they take our programs, that they have something that they can add to their resume or their LinkedIn, and they can, lots of people value these digital badges and certifications as well. So that's why we want to build and grow these partnerships as well across the world. So that's my brief presentation. Firstly, again, I want to thank Georgina and Dr. Khalid for this opportunity, and I'm looking forward to having discussions with any questions from anyone in the audience.
Thank you, Dr. Adam. It was an informative. We will let the audience, if anyone have any question. But I just want to ask about the validation of the programs for the 2 main programs for educators and for students. How you monitor the outputs of the program, and how long are these programs are running by Trainify? What's the feedback? I guess the audience need to hear some data about these programs with Trainify.
Yeah, so to monitor the outputs, what we typically have is a pre and post evaluation. So prior to taking the course, whether it be synchronous or asynchronous, every user or every client is given a pre-evaluation survey that they complete. So we get an idea of where they are in terms of artificial intelligence and their current knowledge and experience using it. And then following that, we have a post-evaluation survey where we collect more responses after they complete the course, how that has changed for them. And then we analyze that data. Now, obviously, we have seen lots of improvements and in our completion rates as well, but also improvements in the productivity, efficiency for lots of these clients. The speed and time at which it takes to do certain tasks obviously has improved as well. To name another, many of the other variables that we measure, of course, as well, including just simply building awareness, education on certain topics like ethics, etc. Now, to answer the second question about the time frame, it honestly depends on the level of the user. Now, I gave an average of 12 to 16 hours for the 6 modules. Now, obviously 12 being the least, meaning because they're typically 2 hours to cover just the content, but remember there's activities and challenges that are designed to be hands-on. So if you're someone a little bit more at the beginner level, some of these challenges might take you a little bit longer, because we're adding in more of these challenges now into our programs to make it more interactive. But if you are, I would say, the intermediate or beginner to intermediate level, some of these challenges might take you less time. But I would say on average, 12 to 16 hours for a 6-module course is what it will take asynchronously. And similarly, if it's being delivered synchronously, it will be around the same, like 6 weeks, 2 hours per week delivered synchronously, or a 2-3-day session, 4 hours per day could be delivered in that as well.
Thank you, Dr. Seema, you can open the mic.
It was a good session, actually, very fruitful. Thank you. I was about to ask if you were planning to work on pharmacy field specifically to develop more features for pharmacies and health insurance.
So we are the same college that we partnered with in Canada. We're exploring building, it's more generic than just pharmacy. I think we're building AI for healthcare, but we might have some focal points there on the pharmaceutical industry, but it's going to be called AI for healthcare. That's going to be the name of the course. But as I mentioned, if it is for a business client, we are able to build and customize programs according to needs and preferences. So if that is a need, we can look into it and maybe build something specific for that. But right now, the only closest course we're building is called AI for healthcare.
Anyone want to ask a question? Dr. Adam, regarding the ethics, as we noticed, you focused on the ethics of using AI tools in the educator more than in students. Even it's needed in both programs, is it?
Yeah, I mean, the ethics in the student course, the reason why we have that in this module is because when we speak about ethics as a student, we want to train them from a young professional of what ethical usage of AI means. Because many students today, I'm not sure if you experience it as well, they think they know how to use AI, but all they know how to do is copy and paste from ChatGPT into their assessment, right? And that's not proper ethical usage of AI. That's just plagiarism. So that's plagiarism, as we know, since generative AI has taken over, has been a big problem in many academic institutions. But if they go into a corporate environment and they're just doing the same exact things, they're going to run into problems. So that's why, especially when we talk about data privacy and intellectual property, etc. So that's why we try to focus on that ethical piece in the young professionals course, so that they understand the foundation when they go off there into the corporate environment and they know what it means to use AI in an ethical manner.
Yeah, I believe that you are right. And actually, we are facing such as an obstacle in our business. In the last few months, we launched some competition and some programs to allow even students or fresh graduates to submit proposals. Imagine that they even didn't bother themselves to change the content.
Yeah.
They copy paste from the AI and they submit the proposal, and they were angry that they were failed to pass the first level of evaluation. It's really somehow now is critical, and they should know that this is not working like this. Also, for the tools, Dr. I guess I need you to highlight some of the guidelines that the program will allow the students or educators to use, because we know that ChatGPT is one of the tools.
Yeah.
And we know that some programs are premium. Not all of them are premium. Also, is the program focusing on the platforms and the tools that can be used by educators or students to find the fit, and maybe some of them are freemium or free of freely access without having to pay for every program or every task they want to do in some platforms.
Yeah, great question. So all the tools that we focus on, the majority of them, as Georgina knows as well, are free tools. There's only a couple. The only paid tool, and it's paid only for the full version, is Microsoft Copilot. But even Bing Copilot is free, right? So the only paid tool will be the usage of Copilot in Word, Excel, Outlook, etc. But all the other tools that we focus on, ChatGPT, Perplexity, Hyperwrite, Stable Diffusion, Bing Image Creator, to name a few. These all have the free versions where you have a certain daily amount of usage before you have to pay, and it's enough to complete the course, plus also complete some of the activities and challenges that we designed. So again, I would say, with the exception of one, all the tools that we focus on, including for the activities, are free tools, because if we don't do that, then then the user wouldn't be able to complete the activity, because not everyone wants to pay, like $25 a month USD or for a particular service. So almost all the tools we focus on are free tools.
And for the certification, Dr. Adam,
Yes.
you mentioned universities, either in some colleges in Canada or some universities in US. What's the value of these certifications? Is it all is all students or educators took or register in these programs are looking for certifications or type of skills that they need, and there is no need for certification.
Right. So it's a question that I actually spoke about a little bit this week. It honestly depends on the user. Some people take a course because they genuinely want to learn these skills, like Georgina and many others, about using AI in a particular sector. They want to learn how to develop these AI skills to improve on their own knowledge, their awareness, and their productivity and efficiency. But then there are, even if that's the reason that you take it, you still have the option for certification. If it is there, it's included in the price, in my opinion, why not, right? But there are others who actually only take a program, especially young professionals, because they understand, that these certifications and badges help their employability, their employability prospects, so that they know that when they take these programs, yes, they're taking it for the learning experience, but if it's not accompanied by some sort of digital badge or certification from a reputable academic institution, oftentimes they're like, well, I don't want to take it. To give you an example, I know several people that paid like $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 to do a very short course at MIT. They didn't care what they were learning, but they just wanted to have that MIT on their LinkedIn and resume, right? So, that certification, we've seen it's much more valuable for the young professionals, whereas for the educators, the professors, the deans, or anyone within the academic institution, most of the time they care more about the learning experience.
Okay. Dr. Georgina, you previously attended one of these programs. You should talk.
About my experience, definitely, it's my pleasure. When I told Adam that I wanted to enroll in the course, it was funny because I told him, Adam, after I finished my PhD, I promised myself that I don't want to study anything anymore. I'm done studying. And, with years of experience and teaching here in Dubai, I actually, when I started the course, it was like, I felt so interested that I just couldn't stop. And even I shared with Adam, I told him, I was shocked from myself because I thought that I was done learning. But at the same time, I know that if we don't teach ourselves and learn how to use AI in a way that would benefit us as professionals, we will be much slower than others and we will remain behind. One thing that I shared with Adam during one of our meetings is the workload that professors and definitely teachers they face. They need to prepare for the lectures, prepare the PowerPoints, as Adam mentioned, do the assessments, do the grading, and especially university professors like myself and Adam and many, many colleagues, of course, they are also expected to publish. And one of the interesting things that I learned when I was doing the course with Trainify is that my God, there's a way that things can happen much faster, much easier, and way more professional. And the idea about AI, I attended many conferences, and we always say it's like the world before the calculator and after the calculator. It's like, AI is the new calculator now. But I realized that if actually we can do a transformation in the higher education industry where people would probably use AI in a way that would really benefit students and professors, things will have, I think that higher education institutions will have a very, very positive results from using AI. As Adam said, many students, they copy and paste. And even we came across some students that they know nothing about prompt engineering. They don't know the right words to put in ChatGPT to get the right answers. And what we always try to explain is that AI or ChatGPT or whatever, it's like Google. You can get the idea and then you can paraphrase it, you can put it in your own words, but it makes things a bit quicker. And I personally found it very, very useful. And I'm going to start the second one, by the way, AI for business. It's very, very interesting as well. And you can do PowerPoints um, in minutes. Adam mentioned in one of the meetings that, do you remember, Adam, the book that you can write in 3 days
Yeah.
with all the pictures and all the lovely things, remember?
Yeah, of course. The use cases are incredible, right? And that's the beauty of AI. This beauty of the era that we live in. I always tell my students, I wish I lived in their era, because things are so much easier for them. We had the internet, of course, right, which obviously made things a lot easier for us. But now they have the internet plus the use of AI tools, especially generative AI. So it's essentially as a professor, as an academic, or as a corporate professional, most of our goals are centered around time, right? We want to save time. And I read recently an article that time is becoming a more precious and valuable resource than money itself. And because of that time, we want to make sure we can find ways to do things faster. So I think that's the whole idea behind these programs, is how to teach the user, whether it be someone, a young professional, an educator, or an executive, how to save time in their day-to-day tasks. And I think that's something that we aim to deliver in these programs.
دكتور أمجد معنا.
Yes, Doctor. Yeah, yes, I can hear you. I would like to thank Dr. Adam. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Let me just to introduce you. Dr. Amjad is with us in the IT policy. He wrote the part of AI in IT and in tech hunting. That's why it's a pleasure having you, Dr. Amjad.
Thank you, Dr. Khalid, for the invitation. Even though it was really very short time to be with you, but I was really very interested about the topic itself. And I feel that Dr. Adam has already mentioned how AI can be utilized in education, in business, and any other stuff. And there's clearly a real need to have policies for AI. And this is what I can share, that at least at my university, we had now maybe the first university to publish its policy about the use of AI. We utilized up to 30% of any work, either by students or by academic people. 30% of it can be utilized generated by AI. So that means it is like the first time to at least provide some sort of a permission for the students or the teachers or the professors to utilize AI in their assessment, in their education, and even though in their research. Because as you already mentioned, now we have the era of AI with the era of the internet. Once they are combined, then you will not be behind. You will be always up front, and you will look forward. And every day we will see, because of the AI, many new tools. If you are not able to stand with the available tools, then it will be very difficult later on to utilize the new tools that will come. And it is coming so fast that nobody can imagine how fast it will be. So I'm so thankful for this workshop. And I hope that we'll look later about the details of what you are providing, so that we will be able to utilize it in our work. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Thank you for your feedback. And I'm very happy and excited to hear that your university has AI built into the course policies, because as you correctly mentioned, not many institutions have that yet. And it means that your institution is one step ahead of many others, especially those in North America. I've worked with several clients in US and Canada, and you'll be surprised to see that they don't even know where to begin. And they have no AI built into any of their course policies. And that's obviously a big problem. So the fact that that's being delivered and communicated, I think it's an excellent start and foundation. But as you also mentioned, we also have to keep up with the rate of change and probably even change these policies as AI changes as well and can do more. So, but it's definitely a great foundation. So thank you for sharing that.
Yeah, and actually, it's the only university in Jordan who published such policy. In many universities in Jordan, they started to put guideline, especially for paper publication or for promotion for the academic. But still, we need. I was with the president before a few days, and she mentioned that, and we are proud that Al Yarmouk University is the first university in Jordan that approve and publish such policy. Anyone wanna have question or comment before we? Dr. Ali.
Yes,
Dr. Ali also is the Dean of Scientific Research in Petra University. Dr. Ali.
Yes, thank you, Dr. Khalid, for invitation, and thank you, Adam, for this informative session. Actually, I enjoyed hearing you, and I want to recognize that this is my first engagement with a session that introduces ways of distributing and disseminating AIs for educators and students as a courses. And I'm happy to be part of this. I have a couple of questions. I will start with, first of all, what type of engagement that we can do as university, as instructor. So do we need to have a subscription or license from your company to utilize and use these courses, or just as individuals they can register and enroll in the courses?
Okay, so firstly, thanks for your feedback. Appreciate that, and I'm happy to hear that you enjoy the session. To answer your first question, it varies, right? You answered it. You answered the question for me, so I'll just repeat what you said. There's two options that we typically do. We either partner with continuing education or anyone within the university itself, where they license the course, let's say on an annual basis, to deliver to their students. That's option one. Or they can just have the students sign up B2C, and we will obviously provide a discounted rate, because if we're working with a university, it's not going to be the same price per head if we know that there are going to be multiple students that are taking the program, right? So both options have been options that we have utilized in the past with universities. So we are flexible to providing both options, yes.
Okay, good. The second question is, I think it's a little bit technical. You presented that there are some AI challenges, and the first one was about the privacy. And Dr. Khalid, I think in his first or second questions, asked about the ethics.
Yeah.
So are you providing solutions to this challenge as just having introductory subjects or topics to ethics, or you have some technical solutions for the privacy issue?
So I will speak a little bit on this. I would say in terms of the data privacy issue, obviously we provide solutions to mitigate, reduce the impact. Because oftentimes there's not truly ways to eliminate the impact of these data privacy concerns. However, in the ethical module, we provide something we call the balancing act, which is an example of one of the solutions that you can employ. But we also do speak a little bit about, there's a couple AI tools out there. One in particular, Microsoft Copilot. They're the only ones right now, and this is why lots of universities in North America are using them. They're the main one that protects data privacy when used by an academic institution or a corporation. And what they do is essentially is that in their terms and conditions, they essentially host the AI chatbot on your institution's server, so that all the data is stored on your university server rather than on Microsoft's server. So that way, the data is not being leaked outside of your institution. And again, that's why most of these, especially these bigger finance companies and these companies with lots of sensitive data, are preferring to use Copilot. So that's just me speaking with you to give you one of the solutions that I noticed that lots of companies are using Copilot. We do mention that as well, but from an ethical standpoint, we focus more on the theoretical side, looking at the balancing act of using AI.
Okay. And excuse me for the long list
No,
of
no, no.
questions, but the third one is I am deeply, and some of my colleagues also concerned about we are okay, we are fine with letting students using the AI
Yeah.
for searching for some questions, problems that we propose to them. But the challenge for us is how to assess or which methods as assessment methods to be used to judge on their outputs or what they submit to us. Do you have some?
Yeah. Yeah, so that's in our AI for assessment module. So we definitely have on that. And we're continuing to build on that. This is something I didn't mention, but I'll mention it now. In all our programs, if you become a user with 25 programs, the good thing and our competitive edge that we try to showcase is that you have access to our updated content throughout, right? So even after you complete the course, when we update content, you will have access to that. For example, very recently, we're adding in more to what you just asked, where you can actually integrate AI into your assessments and how you can critically assess students in different creative ways when they're using AI. So we already had about 5 approaches in our foundational module. Now we're looking to add in 2 to 3 more. And even if you completed the course, you can go back and log back in and access these new content as well. So yeah, to answer your question, that is fully covered in module 3. But there is new content coming out on that exact question in the upcoming months as well.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank
This is
you,
all
Dr.
what I have for now.
Okay,
Thank you.
anytime, any questions?
Thank
always
you.
happy.
Thank you again, Dr. Khalid.
Thank you, Dr. Ali. Your attendance also is ours. Any question, or we can Dr. Adam, we will share the profile with the deans of universities also.
Okay.
Actually, we send them invitations, and many educators registered in the webinar, so we will send the recorded YouTube channel. Dr. Georgina, do you have any comments before we, as we are in the, we have a few minutes to finish and close the session. Before we give the mic
I just
to Dr.
Yeah,
Adam.
thank you so much. I just want to share something from a point of view of someone who saw and felt the pressure, and also thanks to Trainify, saw and practiced the solution, because we are trying to solve problems, and when it comes to professors, I think they are a bit, they're suffering a lot because they have a lot on their plate. So I think that using AI and being able to do some positive change in the higher education industry is very, very crucial for everyone nowadays. And the most important thing, and we had discussion before with Adam, is that sometimes we tend to forget about students. And the whole idea of using AI or us learning about AI is to be able to deliver the content to students in a way that would help them be engaged. And when they are engaged, they would definitely learn. And this learning, they will use it in their future careers or in their higher education study. So the idea is that they need to have a deep learning experience where they can utilize in their future. And this generation is highly depending on technology. And as Adam mentioned, that there's a big difference between our days, the way we studied, and the way that this generation is studying. And if we want to grab their attention and we want them to be really engaged and involved, they need to use the technology, and we need to accept that they're going to use AI. It's our duty to let them know how to use it the right way.
Thank you, Dr. Georgina. Dr. Adam, as a closing comments, because we, for sure, we will now send the details of the two programs for the targeted audience in the coming few days.
Thank you again. Thank you so much, everyone, for coming out. Looking forward to potentially meeting and interacting with some of you further. And I really appreciate the time from everyone today. It was great, and looking forward to the next sessions.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Have a nice day. Thank you.
You too.
Thank you all. Thank you, Mr. Adam.
Thank you to all.
Even it's a weekend as it's birthday.
No, this is fine.
Sure, we will have multi-sessions in the coming few months.
Yeah.
But now let's focus to start with some programs to be implemented for audience and students or educators from Jordan to have their impact, their testimonials and their feedback about these programs.
Yeah, fantastic.
Perfect.
Honestly, looking forward to. And if you ever need anything from my end or want to jump on a call at any point in time, just let me know. We're happy to provide additional information as needed upon your request.
Okay. Thank you, Dr. Adam. Thank you, Dr. Georgina. Have a nice day,
Thank you.
Dr. Adam.
Have a good day.
Thank you so much. Thank you
you.
so much, Dr.
All right.
Khalid. Thank you.
Bye-bye.